perfect. Freeman brings warmth, wit, and relatability to Bilbo, making you root for this unlikely hero from the moment he steps out of his hobbit hole. Then there's Ian McKellen reprising his iconic role as Gandalf the Grey, the wise and mischievous wizard who sets the adventure in motion. His gravitas and charm are pure magic. Richard Armitage plays Thorin Oakenshield, the fierce leader of a company of dwarves with a commanding presence that'll give you chills. The dwarf ensemble is massive, 13 of them, including Ken Stott as Balin, Graham McTavish as Dwalin, William Kircher as Bifur, James Nesbitt as Beaufort, Stephen Hunter as Bombur, Dean O'Gorman as Philly, Aidan Turner as Kylie, John Callan as Oin, Peter Hambleton as Gloin, Jed Brophy as Nori, Mark Hadlow as Dory, and Adam Brown as Ori. Each dwarf has a distinct personality, from grumpy to goofy, making them a rowdy, lovable bunch. Add in familiar faces like Ian Holm as older Bilbo, Elijah Wood as Frodo, Hugo Weaving as Elrond, Cate Blanchett as Galadriel, and Christopher Lee as Saruman, and you've got a cast that bridges the old and new of Middle-earth. Why should you watch for the cast alone? Because these actors bring heart and soul to their roles. Freeman's Bilbo is the everyman you'll see yourself in, while McKellen's Gandalf is the mentor you wish you had. The dwarves are a riot, their camaraderie and quirks making every scene with them a joy. Plus, the cameos from Lord of the Rings stars add a layer of nostalgia that'll hit you right in the feels if you're a fan. Let's dive into the production. Filming took place in New Zealand, the same stunning country that brought us the sweeping landscapes of the Lord of the Rings. From lush green hills to jagged mountains, the locations make Middle-earth feel like a character itself. Jackson and his team at Weta Digital, the visual effects powerhouse, went all out. They built massive sets, like Bilbo's Cozy Bag End, and used groundbreaking tech to create creatures like trolls and goblins. One bold choice was shooting at 48 frames per second, double the standard 24 frames per second for a hyper-realistic look. Some loved the clarity, others found it jarring, but it's a testament to Jackson's willingness to push boundaries. The visual effects earned an Oscar nomination, and for good reason. Weta's work on Gollum alone, voiced and motion captured by Andy Serkis, is a masterclass in digital artistry. Gollum's expressive face and eerie presence are unforgettable, and Serkis's performance is a highlight you won't want to miss. The genre? It's a fantasy adventure with something for everyone. There's action. Think epic chases and battles with monstrous creatures. There's humor, thanks to Bilbo's fish-out-of-water moments and the dwarves' antics. There's heart, as the story explores themes of home, loyalty, and finding courage you didn't know you had. It's rated PG-13 for intense fantasy violence, but it's family-friendly enough for older kids and teens who love a good adventure. The runtime is 169 minutes, or 182 for the extended edition, so it's a commitment, but trust me, the world is so immersive you'll lose track of time. The soundtrack is another reason to watch. Composed by Howard Shore, who scored The Lord of the Rings, the music is a soul-stirring blend of sweeping orchestral themes and Celtic-inspired melodies. The dwarf song Misty Mountains, sung by the cast, is hauntingly beautiful and will stick with you. Shore's score ties the film to its Lord of the Rings roots while giving it a distinct, adventurous vibe. It's the kind of music that makes you want to grab a sword and join the quest. Let's talk awards. The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey earned 3 Oscar nominations: visual effects, production design, and makeup and hairstyling. The production design, led by Dan Henna, transforms Tolkien's world into tangible sets, from the opulent halls of Erebor to the eerie caves of Goblin Town. The makeup team crafted intricate prosthetics for the dwarves, each with unique beards and features, making them instantly recognizable. While it didn't win the Oscars, the nominations show the film's technical brilliance. It also nabbed a BAFTA nomination for visual effects and won a Saturn Award for Best Fantasy Film, cementing its place as a fan favorite. Behind the scenes, the production wasn't without challenges. Originally, Guillermo del Toro was set to direct, but after delays, he stepped down and Jackson took over. The decision to turn The Hobbit into a trilogy, from a planned 2 films, sparked debate, with some critics saying it stretched the story too thin. Still, Jackson's vision was to flesh out Tolkien's appendices, adding depth to the world. The film was shot in 3D, enhancing the immersive experience, and Weta Workshop's practical effects, like detailed weapons and costumes, added authenticity. Fun fact: the dwarf prosthetics were so complex that actors spent hours in the makeup chair daily. Marketing was a beast. Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema launched a global campaign with trailers, posters, and tie-ins like Lego sets and video games. Merchandise, from Bilbo action figures to replica swords, flew off shelves and fans ate it up. The film's cultural impact was huge, reigniting love for Middle-earth and paving the way for The Desolation of Smaug and the Battle of the Five Armies. It also inspired fan art, cosplay, and endless discussions about Tolkien's world. Audience reception was strong, with a 64% critic score and an 83% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Fans praised the performances, visuals, and nostalgia, though some felt the pacing was slow due to the trilogy format. Critics like A.O. Scott of the New York Times called it weary compared to The Lord of the Rings, but others lauded its charm and spectacle. The film's lighter tone, rooted in Tolkien's book, makes it more playful than its predecessors, perfect for viewers craving adventure with a side of humor.